could hold up my end if your people weren't sabotaging my operations.
Sorry, can't talk. We're busy having a very tedious conversation.
And if sabotaging the orchards weren't enough, you had to make it personal. You really had to bust my Insta coffee maker too? The nerve.
Hold that asinine thought. Who was this armed stranger who just wandered into your office? Back up for a fight you can't finish?
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know this fella. I think it's mightily more likely that he's under your payroll. Here to burn down what you haven't already.
I see. Just a visitor, then. Congratulations, Hathaway. Not everyone's abandoned your orchards.
Well, shame that you're trying to change that. Anyway, sorry for the heated reception, stranger. There's just been some trouble here of late. Name's Overseeing Orchardist Hathaway, and I'm in charge of these orchards. Though it seems like certain groups, which will remain unnamed, are trying to change that. Looks like I'm stuck playing the part of customer service rep. Guess it's different from the usual, at least. Something I can do for you? I'm the overseeing orchardist of the Purpleberry Orchards. My job is to make sure we hit our production quotas.
Yeah, he's got a bit of that Rizzo's version of Mr. Thompson look about him. I bet he thinks it's the toughest job in the company, too.
You better believe it is. Unfortunately, I also have to fight a constant battle with unproductivity. We sure as hell ain't winning that right now. We're way behind, and with Rizzo Spectrum Brown set to unveil soon, we can't afford to be this way for long. Hell, it'd look grim for my job even if Slug weren't trying to knock me off my perch. Where'd you get that idea? Don't I look happy? Being here is an unemployment sentence. I can't blame anyone else for any screw-ups because I'm in charge. And there's loads of direct scrutiny from the administrator. Those void-damned lab coats in R&D knew that. It was why they sent me here. I think they knew the orchards were gonna start having problems too. Bastards. Supervise, make sure produce gets where it needs to go, cry every couple days. I report directly to Administrator Ludovico, which is more than a little stressful. Okay then. Yeah. Just another woe to add to the pile. In the past, the orchard subcontracted security work from Slug. You know, keep the malcontents on staff from causing too much trouble. But between the Spectrum Brown unveiling demanding all of our resources and the recent uptick in worker accidents, we just ain't got the budget for security. And, of course, Slug has decided that instead of being reasonable, they're just gonna sabotage our operations until we start paying them again.
Look at the poor Rizzo's manager, lying about Sublight to make himself feel better. Shame he skipped where Rizzo's were short on our payments months before the new unveiling.
Look, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Slug is sabotaging us. I ain't paying until they come clean. It's the strangest thing. Like everyone forgot their 10-minute workplace safety seminars. That's twice as long as the next leading brand. Our people should be safety experts. But I've seen folks step on open electrical wires, drop pallets on each other. One damn fool even blundered into a wasp-keto hive. Even as he died, he looked fairly pleased. Oh, you know, nothing particularly troublesome. Just rogue exterminator mechanicals, opening fire on anything that twitches within 300 yards of them. We've also got a large group of new saplings, all dead from some kind of toxic substance. Poison, I'd guess. And who could forget the tower processing console, which probably just shorted out and stopped working on its own, even though it's outfitted with 3 separate backup systems?
There are a suite of explanations for what could have happened, most pointing to Rizzo's worker incompetence. My people didn't sabotage anything.
Thank the law. Some good news. You hear that, lapdog? Truth's coming. Better fess up while you still can outside of an interrogation room.
While I'm sure you'd love to have a scapegoat on whom you can pin your own incompetence, I suspect you'll be disappointed. But what do I know? I suppose it's up to your new hiree.
You're back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet? Yeah, should have figured as much. There's something else you need to know? Got a lot of dead saplings that'll cost us a lot of bits. I've got a feeling someone poisoned them somehow. The mechanicals were hacked. They're pretty much running amok. If you could keep from destroying too many, I'd be obliged. Would save us a lot. That said, you might want to be careful. Those things are built to take on waspitos, and waspitos are generally tougher to kill than people. Just something to keep in mind. The tower processing console is completely fried. Whoever took it out must have used some kind of explosive. You're back, I see.
I think it's...
How's the investigation go? Well, at the moment, I can't do a whole lot with this vulture hanging over my shoulder. So I suppose you may as well take your time.
Really now? I consider myself more of a watch canid, here to make sure you don't try to run off without paying us.
There's something else you need to know?
The husband played this all quarantine. Well, if there was ever a game for him to really play, that would definitely end up being it. Especially given the fact of different branching story paths. That's for sure. Which, this is actually the DLC, or it's actually the final DLC expansion for this game. and I got tired of waiting on a sale, so I said, I'll go ahead and get it. Especially since I'm getting full-time hours now. It's just 15 bucks, but knowing how I am with games, I would explore everything I possibly could. I've already beaten the main game and the other DLC expansion, and now I'm on this one. And I started another playthrough as well, which I just started it, but this has been like months ago, I think. And I'm playing as my second character is just this really ugly brute of a woman who's specializing in melee, and her intelligence is lowered just to the point to where she ends up getting access to this special social feature, which is called the stupid talk or something like that. Like, they basically sound like a moron. So, like Congress and Biden when he tries to give a speech. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I remember that one. Like games don't take too much attention. Yeah, I was telling my lady about this too. I told her, she asked me what it was about, and I was explaining it to her, and she says, yeah, I can see why you would like it. I said, yeah. I told her, actually, there's more conversation in this game, more so than there is combat.
I've never seen an orchard before. I mean, I just looked at its garden. You mind if we look around a little?
I mean, there is combat, true, but then again, that also depends on how you choose to play it as well.
Please visit the Purpleberry Nut Hut to purchase an audio tour today.
Under the Butt Nut Hut? Aren't those known as Tidy Whities? Well, at least I opened the door and got XP out of it. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was trying to mess around with my stats and whatnot. I really came to the point that there's a handful of games, actually it's probably a lot of games, that I've got that have branching story paths and character builds and all this other stuff that I'm going to actually go back and play and see what the story is behind those. Because it's a shame, if you have a game like that, there's no reason for you to not go back and play through them again. Because you're dealing with like a whole new different type of thing. I mean, yeah, some aspects are going to be the same, but in terms of like dialogue and characters and all that stuff, things can really change. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or then again, I think you can actually start out with a pre-made character. Or that's in some other games. I don't think you can with this one, really. But a lot of the game, I was really exploring around a whole lot too. Like, I was trying to do everything that I could in the game to try to handle things in the most passive way possible, but try to get the most out of it that I could. And if the cow pucky hit the fan, well, it's time to throw down. And that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, it's just like the way that it is when they do that in other types of games as well, where your stats are really going to determine how your character is going to play out. And I mean, there's some companies that have done it better than others have, but still. I actually got Tales of Arise showing up. Should be sometime soon. I hope it'll show up tomorrow. Drunk laborer? I think he's going off kilter. I forgot what that did. And I also forgot what it was. Where is he? Oh! Good God! I blew all of his limbs off. Holy crap, that was metal, dude. Holy crap. Holy crap. This has got to be some kind of pulse rifle, shotgun, something or another. I don't know. Oh, I thought he was peeing on the tree or something. I'm like, why is a robot peeing? Yeah, I definitely want to check out Elden Ring. The only problem that I have with that is that it's made by From Software, who's famous for the Dark Souls games, and Bloodborne, and Sekiro. So yeah, it's probably going to be one of those really challenging games. A lot of people are saying that they feel like it's going to be Zelda Breath of the Wild, but on crack, because of the fact of probably how challenging it's going to be. I'm still interested in wanting to check it out, but it's probably going to follow that real challenging formula. They're just standing there. Oh wow. I don't know what that was. Oh wow. Have they gone insane? Because that seems a little off the mark. Kinda. I always go back to this friggin' thing.
Easy.
Let's see how these things look. Because I'm curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Let's see. Well, that's a 12. I ain't doing that one. 70. It's a 69. That's a 77. That's a 28. I know not any of the rest of them are going to be like this. Well, he's got a 59. So, well, put it on her head. 76. No. Let's see. It's got a 72. No. 76. Yeah. Alright, you have a good one. I appreciate you coming in the stream. I'm going to get off of here in a little bit too. I just wanted to get on with it for a bit. Kind of had a late start, but yeah. I will check you later, Tater.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Oh, that's the last of him.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Bits of wicker detected, embedded within the chunks of dark matter. Wicker is not a known ingredient of the dark matter product. The only members of a tossball team strong enough to crack a stick in two are the dedicated hackers, like Black Hole Birdie. Whatever Ms. Ruth Bellamy must have relayed to the tossball hacker during their picnic together instigated a furious increase in his usual strength threshold by 52%.
I seen Birdie snap a tossball stick in half before. It happened right after the Darlings stole the quarterfinals from the Rangers last year.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This console is 95% non-functional. Remaining 5% functionality stems from display reading, console non-functional. Cause of shortout is most likely related to purple residue splattered all across the keyboard. Substance contains trace amounts of purple berries, fruit flavors, and artificial sweeteners number 35, number 40. 249, number 240, number 322, number 314, and many, many, many others.
You know you're liable to get sick doing that.
Looks like we're doing this! I'll show you happiness! I just wanted to make you smile!
Just want to be your friend!
Everyone all right?
Please visit the Purpleberry Nut Hut to purchase an audio tour.
Hey! Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say the slogan. Okay, you can do this, Anna. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're you or me. We're all part of the Rizzo's family. How was that?
I thought that was, a real good effort. Keep at it.
Ouch. Well, your candor's appreciated, even if it means I'll have to hit the books even harder tonight. I'm sure you've guessed it, but I'm not the best at remembering slogans. And when I can't remember them, I tend to just make them up. But I guess that's why I'm just an intern and not a full-timer. At least, not yet.
Why is it that some of the women I'm running to in this game are so ugly? Why is it in the gaming industry that it has to be pushed to make women look like men? Women will never be men. Men will never be women. On a full biological scale, it's absolutely impossible. So why is it that we're trying to go and have this happen? These women are ugly. They are fugly, man. These character models are fugly. I'd rather look at an ugly bearded man than, I should say, an ugly bearded woman. I mean, heck, the way you look at some of these women in some of these games nowadays, they might as well grow a beard. Jeez, man. Why is it so terrible to look attractive in games nowadays? It's retarded. Good grief. Women are ugly. Let's see.
Oh yes. I thought I saw someone who looked self-important enough to be her by the conservatory some time ago. Not to speak ill of the dead, I simply never liked the way she stole the limelight from the true star. Burbage 3001. Who? I certainly am. That aerodynamic chassis, how the light glints off his rotund head, the way he enunciates, cry havoc, and let loose the canids of war. Excuse me, I got a little lightheaded there. Nobody does Shakespeare like Burbage. What were we talking about? I suppose so. I also suppose Helen won't be stealing the limelight ever again. What? No, that's ridiculous. I can't tell you I've never made any mistakes, but it'd be pretty hard to keep my job if I were trying to break everything. Though there was the time I tried to fix a broken hinge on one of our mosquito hives and released a swarm. Chased me around the orchards 3 times before I managed to get help. Hey, that was one honest mistake. One! And considering the fact that mosquitoes have a tendency to kill people, I think I learned my lesson, as did the rest of Rizzo's. Don't worry though, mosquitoes are typically only about when living folks aren't in the orchards. I am contractually obligated to tell you that mosquitoes never get out during visiting hours. But when they do, the only way to get them to return is to go directly to hive control and activate emergency recall. Which isn't easy, considering all the hives near control. But this is all a departure from what I wanted to say. I've been trying to help the orchards, not harm them. Hold a moment. You haven't found anything, have you? Well, maybe. I might have had a supersized cup of mixed purpleberry punch and lemon slab that I might have knocked over when I was running routine diagnostics. Look, I know what you're thinking, but I have the proper permit to mix those drinks. I just left it in my other work uniform.
This is why you should only ever carry one set of clothes.
Hey, we have a lot of uniforms. It's hard keeping track of all your belongings. How did you notice? The diagnostic normally takes hours, and that's only if humidity's low. I wanted to take the initiative to try and make it faster. But there's nothing to come clean about. I've just been doing my best out here. It's not so different from being a regular worker, just with less pay and less respect. Oh, it's also more dangerous than traditional employment. You don't have the experience to back up your work yet, but being fired isn't any less threatening. Work-wise, I do a bit of everything. The orchards have been short-staffed as long as I've been working here. So if there's an odd job around, it usually gets passed to me. Much higher chance of promotion. If I can tough it out here without getting axed, I can skip the 5+ years of customer service I'd normally have to deal with. I can prove my merit here and move up in the world. And the sooner I do that, the sooner I can set to improving things for everyone else. Mother did mention that from time to time, but she always kept me far away from her work. Who could complain about happier workers and higher profit gains? Much as I love delivering coffee and medical attention, not quite, no. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I sometimes feel that our workers could be treated a little better. Maybe only get electrocuted awake every other day? So I'm shooting for administration in Rizzo's. Maybe even the board itself. Best way to evoke change is from the inside, I think. Laws, you've got a sixth sense for finding the most embarrassing question, huh? My mother is the Rizzo's assistant vice president of flavor testing. She set me up with this position. Mostly to keep me from troubling her work, I think. Consequently, I don't always feel like I deserve to be here. All the more reason to work harder, I say. Happy to enlighten you on the fascinating world of internships. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Unless you already have, and I've forgotten. In which case, I probably won't forget a second time.